Concerning the heat in the cab, a couple of you have asked about what I'm going to do about that. Well, the first thing, I have to have these vents sewed shut. I called original cab company and I thought possibly it was for some type of ventilation. Maybe the cab got fogged up or something like that. I didn't quite understand why they would do such a thing. Well, that's not why they're there at all. This cab was originally fitted for a 520 LXI, a newer model, and it got its combustion air for the engine internally inside the cab, or the cab, I should say, blocked it. Well, that would have an inrush of air coming in here, and no wonder the guy got rid of it. It would freeze him to death. If the engine was drawing that much air, getting cold air across the person. The guy said, Chris at Original Cab Company said he didn't, that they didn't want to do it that way, but they were forced to. So those are going to have to be sewed shut with some fabric. I have fabric for those. I have parts for this cab. On to the heat situation. I know that GA North Carolina makes a belt guard with ventilation to get rid of the heat. Well, I've taken a digital infrared thermometer and I've shot it at this belt guard, and I have virtually no heat at all coming off of that. It doesn't get hot at all. And the reason it doesn't is because I don't have a muffler here anymore. I am convinced that the muffler blocked a lot of the heat from escaping off of the cylinder head, and this thing is very cool to the touch. I don't have any problem with it at all because I've removed it. As you can see on the 520 sitting over there, it blocked it. It blocked all of that right there, and where the cab would go. And in my case, I got rid of the muffler for one reason, was because it was sitting too close to this cab and it would probably toast it. Also, the plugs and a lot of the wiring got charred. Well, I took care of that, knowing, listen to everybody talk about that. I took care of it, and I built a manifold system. What I'm going to have to do, and I have room to slip in between here, is I'm going to have to build a collector box around this exhaust. I've taken also infrared digital thermometer readings on this exhaust, and it's over 700 degrees. If I can collect some of that heat in a box, probably put a fan up in here to force the heat, or draw it. Probably be better to force the heat across this and into the cab. So in some type of either put this panel shut or force the air through here, open this up, notch it, whatever. I got some edging to go on here. I can force some heat through here through a silicone tubing like I did on the other snow chucker. That'll take care of that situation. I'm convinced of it. If there's one thing I know about, is heat transfer. Being in the heating and air conditioning business now 35 years, 30 years of which I've been a contractor. Normally a heat exchanger on a furnace runs about 350 to 400 degree surface temperature from the combustion gases across that, and that's what it takes. It takes temperatures of that magnitude to transfer to the air. You're not going to do it off 95 or 100 degrees off of a belt guard. It's just not going to happen. If it did get that hot before, it was because this muffler was in here to prevent that. And I guess, so I don't know if I'm going to get that done this year. I can probably be working on it. If I have to start the season without it, that'll be fine. In between times, I can build a collector box and get it ready to go in here and put it on as the season goes on. I'll have it ready to where I'm not into something tore apart to where I can't operate the snow chucker. So with that being said, that's where I stand on that situation. But I do definitely intend to heat the cab, because as it is right now, with this exhaust coming up here, that's where my heat's escaping. I have absolutely hardly any heat at all getting in the cab anymore. So it's probably colder inside the cab than a normal 520 is, so at this point. But before the end of winter, I will get it squared away. Probably give me sometime in December. I'll have that taken care of. Take care.